Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today in gaming, Tencent bought up another major game company. Cyberpunk 2077 passes 13 million units sold, Microsoft Flight Sim VR update arrived, and much more. Chinese mega company Tencent have purchased the parent company Leyou Technologies behind Warframe, Gear Tactics, and the Halo Master Chief Collection's PC port. Tencent scooped up Leyou Technologies at a hefty $1.5 billion. Leyou were originally a chicken processing company. In 2014, they decided to branch out by acquiring a major stake in Warframe's developers, Digital Extremes. They subsequently sold off the chicken side of their business in 2016, thanks to the success of Warframe. Tencent's acquisitions further expand its portfolio and give the Chinese company a foothold in some interesting projects. For example, one of Leiyu's subsidiaries, Athlon Games, is working on Amazon's Lord of the Rings MMO. At this point, it's safe to say Tencent have a stake in almost every major Western developer. The holdouts are few and far between, like Valve and EA, but even those companies are working with some branch of Tencent's monumentally large business empire to bring their games to the Chinese customers. And while the China bad mentality is undoubtedly a driving force behind criticism of Tencent buying every company under the sun, there's plenty of legitimate concerns about such a big company owning so much of the industry. In the short term, it seems like most companies Tencent buy get a massive boost to their funding and resources, so it could be seen as a smart short-term move for the developers. But in the long term, there's no telling what will happen with Tencent. And while it's tough to draw direct parallels between bad stuff happening and Tencent, there are a few noteworthy examples. Hearthstone Grandmaster Blitzchung was banned from competition because of his pro-Hong Kong statements during a broadcast. Riot have reportedly discouraged esports teams from endorsing pro-Hong Kong messages as well. Considering Tencent's stakes in Activision Blizzard and their complete ownership of Riot, it's easy to draw a connection to Tencent's influence. CD Projekt Red estimates Cyberpunk 2077 has sold over 13 million copies despite all the controversy surrounding it. That figure is astronomical, but seems pretty realistic considering the game had over 1 million players on Steam just 4 hours after launching. Adding consoles and GOG.com into the mix, the game made its production and marketing costs back with just pre-orders. Despite Sony, Microsoft, and retailers offering refunds for the game, it seems unlikely that those refunds will make a real dent in overall sales. It'll certainly be interesting to see if refunds have a measurable impact on the game in a few months, assuming the developers fix the game. Will some of those refunds come back and buy the game again? It's hard to talk about the meat of the game simply because there's so many bugs on top, but I think it's pretty clear that it's an incredible game underneath all of those problems. Microsoft Flight Simulator just took immersion to the next level. Its latest update added VR support. The game's graphics and cloud simulation are renowned for being jaw-droppingly gorgeous, and they're even more impressive in VR. There are some obvious gotchas, like needing a monster PC to achieve a frame rate that won't make you sick, and of course the lack of physical presence via an in-game avatar. But even with those issues, it's crazy how much more immersive and realistic the game can look in VR. Apparently, some rumors or concerns were floating around that 343 canceled Halo Infinite's Xbox One release thanks to the disaster we saw with Cyberpunk's 2077's last-gen console versions. The good news is 343 were quick to firmly deny those rumors. On Twitter, the game's community manager replied to someone asking about the cancellation rumors with, "Nope, please let me enjoy the holidays." There's a lot of uncertainty around Halo Infinite right now. The developers just confirmed the game has been delayed to fall of 2021. The project has also lost some high-profile leadership. Working from home has also slowed development to a crawl. Putting a pin in these rumors quickly does inspire confidence for some fans. Still, it also makes you wonder if developers across the industry would be better off just developing for next-gen hardware because of how the pandemic has kneecapped their time and resources. Escape from Tarkov is getting a big update tomorrow that adds new weapons, ammo, some character customization stuff, and a woods map rework that doubles its playable area. The patch will perform a wipe, resetting all players to square one. Updates like this are generally pretty big milestones for Tarkov. The game is technically still a beta product. Updates that come with a wipe are typically seen as both a fresh start for existing players and a good time to dive in for new players. A new leak of Intel's upcoming Rocket Lake CPUs is pretty promising if you're still on Team Blue. The i7-11700KF has been spotted on the Ashes of Singularity benchmark charts. The same charts recently leaked Intel's new i9 CPU. While both the i7 and i9 lag behind AMD's new Ryzen processors, the good news is the i7 apparently outperforms Intel's current gen i9 10900K. Until Ryzen 5000 came along, the 10900K was the fastest gaming CPU on the market and commanded a premium price thanks to being an i9 product. But this new i7 is about 3.5% faster while likely being much cheaper. We don't know full pricing and specs just yet, but the next gen processors sound promising for people loyal to Intel. They are still trailing comparably priced Ryzen 5000 CPUs, but at least Intel are offering better performance to price ratios than their current gen line. Overwatch is currently free to play for the holidays. The offer ends on January 4th, which gives you plenty of time to sink into the hero shooter. Unlike many free-to-play trial periods, this one for Overwatch is the full deal. You get access to everything paid players have, plus a hefty discount on the game's Legendary Edition if you opt to buy it. Our final story today takes the cake for things I never thought I'd say in a video. KFC, as in the fast food chain Kentucky Fried Chicken, has a real game console in the works. KFC have been teasing the console throughout their somewhat satirical KFC Gaming Twitter account. The less than serious nature of most of the account's tweets led people to believe it was yet another edgy gamer joke, but they're actually serious. The KFC console is a mini PC that uses a Cooler Master NC1000 case, an Intel i9 Extreme NUC, discrete GPU, and SSD storage to run games at 4K 240 FPS. While Intel's NUC, aka Mini Integrated PCs, are incredibly powerful, it's likely you'll only see that level of performance in games like CSGO or Siege. The kicker, and this is where things start to get weird, is that the KFC console will also sport a chicken warming compartment to keep your wings warm while you game. Now, I'm not saying I don't kind of want one, but also the idea of sticking chicken into my PC is just one of those things that feels like it couldn't possibly end well. Forget spilling a soda on your keyboard, just imagine what an order of KFC chicken could do inside of your PC. As for availability, well, it's anyone's guess. There's no official price on release date yet, but just most news outlets speculate it will be a very limited quantity item with a high price tag. Kinda weird that today's video started and ended with chicken companies doing unexpected things in the gaming industry. And that wraps it up for today in gaming. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what story you thought was the most interesting in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more content like this in the future, and I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap signing off.